currently we are right beside Renewal Falls. And yesterday I flew up the drone, just kind of beside the little cabin I was staying at. And the entire forest that I grew up beside had all been blown down, which was just mind-blowing to me. So I'm kind of intrigued now just to have a look. As you can see there on the top right, there's a good few down. Let's go investigate. Wow. Flip me, it's like an entire path. Yeah, that's wild. It's almost heartbreaking to see the whole forest behind the little cabin blown down, but then I suppose it just kind of teaches you the power to let go, you know. Who knows, in a few decades' time, people have planted new seeds, new trees will grow. A whole new spring of life will be coming in. It's mental, the amount of trees it took out, like. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I guess with all these trees being blown over and everything like that, it does kind of emphasize and really does teach us the power of letting go. And I guess that's what I want to kind of bring this theme to today's video. Because, you know, with this forest that has more or less all been blown down to smithereens, it held so much memories from my childhood here. You know, we had built a teepee in this forest that stood for, I'd say, nearly a decade, and I wish I was lying. But I don't even think there's a chance I could get that deep into the forest anymore to see if it's still there. Definitely isn't. Definitely can't be. Because, you know, it'll be too risky. But even from being in Renewal Falls there and seeing like the size of the roots and how vast and big they were, just blows my mind how the gales could be that strong to take them out and take a whole forest down with it. But I guess the silver lining, the little bit of beauty in that, is that with letting go of the past, it makes more space and more room for new things to blossom, new things to be planted, new seeds to be planted, for new things to blossom and grow. So, you know, I don't know how this forest is going to, you know, be taken care of and regrown, I guess, but I'm sure within the next decade it'll be sorted. And, you know, I guess it's a beautiful metaphor for life, you know, because with letting go of the past, as I said, it just, you know, it kind of takes a weight off your shoulders, and it kind of just gives your head more space to comprehend a few new things, a few new obstacles for you to face in life, new kind of goals for you to set, new ambitions. And I think, you know, we can't truly grow and we can't truly get to the place we want to be in life without letting go of something in the past, you know, whether it's thoughts, whether it's feelings, whether it's someone, whether it's a group of friends. And I think the power of letting go, it does help you really, really, really become more resilient within your mind. For example, like when I started practicing the power of letting go, it's really just being able to embrace the present to the point where you can let those thoughts in your head just escape for a moment in time, whether it's like 5, 10, 15 minutes. You know, what I tend to do is get out in nature, you know, listen to the sea, listen to the water, listen to the leaves blowing the trees, and just embrace where I am in that moment in time, rather than thinking about what's going on in life. You know, it's my way to kind of quieten the outside world that is constantly invading my space in my brain. That's constantly making me think of what I should be doing next, what I shouldn't be doing, and where I want to go. Whilst then, when I let go of all those thoughts and I just go for a walk in nature, I listen to the birds sing, it just takes that weight off my shoulders. It makes me feel so much more relaxed. It makes me feel even more gratitude towards this beautiful world that we do live in, you know. And even with the likes of this storm taking out half of this forest, there's still a beauty in it, you know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, from going from winter into spring. You know, like certain plants, certain flowers have to lose their petals to re-blossom again. But the thing is, you know, they shed their petals, and then within the next year, they always come back, if they're well tended to, you know? And I think that's also an important thing is, you know, along with the power of letting go, kind of linking it to planting a garden within your own mind is very, very beneficial, I feel. You know, if you think of your garden as a mind, you think of your mind as a garden, and you wake up every morning, you're planting a few seeds. Maybe you're not even planting the seeds, you're tending to the seeds you've already planted. And these seeds can be your ideas or, you know, ways you want to be living your life. For example, right now, if you're maybe feeling a bit under the weather and you don't really see yourself as this maybe confident, outgoing and enthusiastic person, well then plant a little seed in your mind. You know, plant the seed of enthusiasm, plant the seed of confidence, and tend to it every day and affirm yourself that I am confident, I am enthusiastic about what I'm doing, I am passionate about everything that comes to me in life. And if you keep tending to your garden every single day, whether it's in the morning, before you go to bed, maybe both, trust me, this will, really, really help you just kind of become at peace with yourself and but start to learn your own personal development and start to take in everything that's made for you and let go of the things that aren't. And, if you're planting a seed and maybe it dies on you, metaphorically, you just maybe forgot to tend to it, you forgot how confident you were, you forgot how much of an outgoing person you were, you can always dig up that seed, you can always dig up that plant, toss her out and plant a new one and start again. And I think that's the beauty of life, along with the power of letting go. There's always opportunities to start again, no matter what age you are. If you feel like you're too old to do this, to do that, you're completely wrong. The only fact I can give to you is if you physically can't do something, then you could be in the right. But there's always ways to make up for that with other things, And I think that's just the beautiful thing about this little world, or this vast world that we live in. We only have one shot at this, so there's no real point of letting the little things get to your mind. And I think if you truly can embrace the power of letting go, you will live a very fulfilling life. You won't be trapped inside of your mind all the time. You won't be constantly thinking about what you should have done, could have done, but didn't do. You will think about what you can do the next time that scenario approaches you. It's letting go of them little thoughts. It's letting go of those invasive thoughts too, and accepting the intrusive ones that are, positive towards your life. Positive towards your life. Sometimes you just have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself to realize what it is that's holding you back from your full potential. And I tend to have these conversations when I am sitting out here in nature, but most importantly at night, when I'm sitting outside and looking up at the stars and just realizing, how small we truly are compared to this vast universe we live in, and how we shouldn't let these little thoughts nitpick away at our brains, and how we should just let go of the ones, control the controllables and let go of the uncontrollables. I think that's one of the most powerful things that I've learned. A friend of mine told me this years ago, and ever since I've heard it so many times, and I feel it's an extremely powerful way to just look at life. Control the controllables, control what you can, and let go of what you can't. Because if you're constantly trying to fix a problem that you have no control over, you're just going to start deteriorating your own mental health, your own mental well-being. That could even be your physical well-being too, and it's not worth it in the long run. I feel like you kind of need to sit down and list out whatever is in your mind, whether, to get 2 sections. How about try this? Have 2 sections in a wee notebook, controllables and uncontrollables, and jot down everything that you can control today and everything that you can't control. And simply just start to put lines through all the uncontrollables one at a time and just say, I'm letting go of this thought because of so and so and so, because I can't control this, because da 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 da. And then with the controllables, go one at a time. Maybe it'll take you a week to get through one controllable, maybe it'll take you a month. Just go through them all. And maybe one of those controllables turns out to be an uncontrollable too, and that's okay. You just have to let go. You just have to let go. You just have to let go. What doesn't serve us in life just has to be let go. Because if we continuously keep feeding and serving the things that aren't providing for us, that aren't giving us back that fulfillment that we're putting into it, then what's the point? What's the point of it? So yeah, I think I've went into a bit of a deeper take into this video than I expected, but I hope it kind of resonates or makes sense to some of you out there. And we're humans living, you know what I mean? And we have to experience the whole world. We have to experience all the little beautiful things, You have to get out every now and then and just look around you and be grateful for what you have and not be focused on what you don't have, And that's the powerful thing about life, I feel like social media, the online world, really does try to dictate our future, really does try to make us feel like we're not doing enough or we should be doing this and we should be doing that, when in reality, it's just a mirror of someone else's life. And that tends to make people feel a bit, less worthy of where they currently are. But listen to me, you're the most worthy person if you're watching this video. You're worthy of everything. You deserve everything. You deserve the world. And don't let anyone bring you down, or don't let someone else's chapter 50 compare to your chapter 4. We're all in different stages in life, and I think the best part about it is being able to connect with other people who can understand where you're at. Maybe they've been in a similar position before, to give you advice on where to go. And then you can relapse that kind of conversation with someone who's at a chapter before you in the near future. And yeah, again, this has kind of went on to a mad one, but as I was saying, we're all human beings at the end of the day. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. We're all learning. We're all learning. Every day is a learning day, and this is just kind of my perspective. I just kind of want to share how I see the world, and I don't want this to come across in a preachy way. You should be doing this, should be doing that. This is basically just conversations with myself. This is the kind of conversations I like to have with myself to kind of get a better understanding of where I currently stand and what I want from life. And if you can resonate, you can take value from this video, please do let me know in the comments down below. And if you're having issues with letting go or you just want a little vent, you can always use that comment space down below as well, because I'm always here, my doors are always open, and as I said, I love having meaningful conversations, so whatever I can do to help means the world to me. And it would mean the absolute world to me as well. If you want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. And yeah, I will be sharing more of my little conversations very soon. But yes, thank you guys very much for listening. I hope you guys have a splendid day. I got very lucky that the rain didn't open down on us, so this was a sign for me to record this video. It's been raining all day, and yeah, take care. Much love.